And every morning we can do this.
Great fortune.
Sometimes you don't see it anymore when you're always here. Familiarity breeds contempt.
How?
Familiarity breeds contempt.
What is contempt? It's like neglecting.
Yes.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So, we continue the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 29th chapter. Conversation between Narada Muni and King Prachinabarhishat. Verse 61. You can read Sanskrit. Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Svashantam purusho yadham
Svashantam purusho yata
Karmatmani ahitam bhukte
Karmatmanyahitam bhukte
Tadrishena tarennavam
Tadrishene tarenava
Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Svashantam purusho yadham
Svashantam purusho yata
Karmatmani ahitam bhukte
Karmatmanyahitam bhukte
Tadrishena tarennavam
Tadrishene tarenava Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Vasantam purusho yata
Vasantam purusho yatha
Karmatmanyahitam bhukte
Karmatmanyahitam bhukte
Tadrishene tarenava
Tadrishena tarennavam
Shayanam imam utsrijyam
Sayanam utsrijyam
Vasantam purusho yatha
Vasantam purusho yadham
Karmatmanyam hitam bhukte
Matmani ahitam bhukte
Tadrishene tarenava
Tadrishena tarennavam.
Shayanam imam utsrijyam
Sayanam imam utsrijyam
Vasantam purusho yatha
Vasantam purusho yadham
Karmatmanyahitam bhukte
Matmani ahitam bhukte
Tadrishene tarenava
Tadrishena tarennavam. And word by word translation. Sayanam,
Shayanam
lying down on the bed. Imam, this body. Utsrijyam, after giving up. Shvasantam, breathing. Purusha, the living entity. Yadha, as karma, activity. Atmani, in the mind. Ahitam, executed. Bhunkte, enjoys. Tadrishena, by a similar body. Itarena, by a different body. Va, or. Translation. The living entity, while dreaming, gives up the actual living body. Through the activities of his mind and intelligence, he acts in another body, either as a god or a dog. After giving up this gross body, the living entity enters either an animal body or a demigod's body, on this planet or on another planet. He thus enjoys the results of the actions of his past life and purpose. Although the root of distress and happiness is the mind, intelligence and ego, the gross body is still required as an instrument for enjoyment. The gross body may change, but the subtle body continues to act. Unless the living entity gets another gross body, he will have to continue in a subtle body or a ghostly body. One becomes a ghost when the subtle body acts without the help of the instrumental gross body. As stated in this verse, Shayanam imam utsrija svashantam, the gross body may lie on a bed and rest. And even though the machinery of the gross body is working, the living entity may leave, go into a dream, and return to the gross body. When he returns to the body, he forgets his dream. Similarly, when the living entity takes on another gross body, he forgets the present gross body. The conclusion is that the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego creates an atmosphere with desires and ambitions that the living entity enjoys in the subtle body. Actually, the living entity is in a subtle body, even though the gross body apparently changes, and even though he inhabits the gross body on various planets. All the activities performed by the living entity in the subtle body are called illusory because they are not permanent. Liberation means getting out of the clutches of the subtle body. Liberation from the gross body simply involves transmigration of the soul from one gross body to another. When the mind is educated in Krishna consciousness or higher consciousness in the mode of goodness, one is transferred either to the upper heavenly planets or to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha planets. One therefore has to change his consciousness by cultivating knowledge received from Vedic instructions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the disciplic succession. If we train the subtle body in this life by always thinking about Krishna, we will transfer to Krishna Loka after leaving the gross body. This is confirmed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Janma karma cha me divyam vamyaveti tatvada tiktvadekhan punarjanma naitimam etiso Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Thus, the change of the gross body is not very important, but the change of the subtle body is important. The Krishna consciousness movement is educating people to enlighten the subtle body. The perfect example is in this regard is Ambarish Maharaja, who always engaged his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. Savaimanah Krishna Padaravindayo. Similarly, in this life we should always fix our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, who is present in his Archivigraha, incarnation of the deity in the temple. We should also always engage in his worship. If we engage our speech in describing the activities of the Lord, and our ears in hearing about his pastimes, and if we follow the regulative principle to keep the mind intact for advancing in Krishna consciousness, we shall certainly be elevated to the spiritual platform. Then at the time of death, the mind, intelligence and ego will no longer be materially contaminated. The living entity is present, as the mind, intelligence and ego are also present. When the mind, intelligence and ego are purified, all the active senses of the living entity become spiritual. Thus the living entity attains his Sachitananda form. Supreme Lord is always in his Sachitananda form. But the living entity, although part and part of the Lord, becomes materially contaminated. When he desires to come to this material world for material enjoyment, the prescription of the returning home back to Godhead is given by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. I feel strange. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Matyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Evaishasi Mat Yuktanam Atmanam Mat Parayanam. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. End of purport. Om Gyanati Mirandasya Nananjana Shavakaya
Prashuddham.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhuttare Svayarupa Kadamakyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhisha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We continue to study Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you for allowing this opportunity for me to speak. And this is a story about Narada Muni. He shared his instructions to King Pachinabarhi, and like we heard already many times that he already told to him the story about Puranjana, about this attachment of the family life, and now he explained again about one more story about this, like the person going to the forest, this deer who going into the forest enjoying, but there is a tiger who represent time. Tiger represent time, and also hunter, and different things. What is can create some problem, and all these instructions help to this king to understand about the importance of spiritual life and about renunciation, and that how we can be detached, because like easy to say something but not so easy to do. And Narada Muni, like a good preacher, son of Krishna, he trying to enlighten this king to giving him instructions how to get free from the clutches of material illusion and go to and try to be more engaged in spiritual activity, in spiritual practice. This today is very big purport, many important points. Like Prabhupada often gives this example about dreaming, about because our material life is like a dreaming, like a dream. Like when we sleep, we can see different things. Sometimes something nice, we enjoying. Sometimes something not nice, some problem we have to solve them, and so on. And during this dreaming, we take this very seriously, and we're trying to do something. We involve so much, think about how to do this and that. I know by myself.
This night I had a nightmare. I was dreaming that in the kitchen the gas pipe is broken and all the gas, is, and if somebody makes a small spark, that would be huge. So I was running around.
Sometimes I also sometimes have some dreams like you have to do something. You may be late for somewhere to the flight or somewhere. You prepare different things looking for luggage and you cannot find, and you're so much absorbed in this. But then you just wake up and understand what this was. It was just a dream. But people in this world, they all so much engaged in different material activities. They're wandering around looking for so-called happiness. They're so much busy. They're learning different, getting education, trying to achieve something in life, to get shelter, to have some enjoyment. But they very often forget about who they are and what they're doing here. And Prabhupada gave this example about dreaming. Because we have to understand that we are also temporary in this world, and we are originally from a spiritual world. And also this I find a nice point about this subtle body. It says that Yeah, the gross body may change, but the subtle body continue to act. Unless the living entity gets another gross body, he will have to continue in a subtle body or a ghostly body. One becomes a ghost when the subtle body acts without the help of the instrumental gross body. As stated in this verse, Sayanam Imam Usrija Swashantam, the gross body may lie on a bed and rest, and even though the machinery of the gross body is working, the living entity may leave, go into a dream, and return to the gross body. When he returns to the body, he forgets his dream. Similarly, when the living entity takes on another gross body, he forgets the present gross body. The conclusion is that the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego creates an atmosphere with desires and ambitions that the living entity enjoys in the subtle body. Actually, the living entity is in the subtle body, even though the gross body apparently changes, and even though he inhabits the gross body on various planets. It said here that mostly we act through our subtle body, because we can know that many things we create in our mind, in our ego, also intelligence. Our mind is so powerful that sometimes it can create sometimes we dream about something, it maybe even this not exist, but we dream so much, and we think about this a lot. Even sometimes how to say this, exaggerate reality, or sometimes we create some problems in our mind. Maybe this problem even don't exist, but we just create this and we suffer. Especially, I think it's more prominent for ladies because their mind is more stronger, and because sometimes everyone actually creates some different things in their mind. And it is said that even we leave this material body, gross body, subtle body always exists. And either we act like a ghost without gross body, or we, after some time, we should get again body. If we're not ready to go to our eternal body, we get another permanent material body and continue to exist. And so in this way the soul just transmigrates from one body to another, wandering around in different species of life, in different planets, looking for happiness. Even I lately say this to people on the street. I just say, showing some picture from the books, show the books like about reincarnation, and say like this knowledge expanded about how the living beings looking for happiness, they changing one body after another, and so on. But actually we all need something else. We need to understand about who we really are and where we came from. Sometimes people they think it makes sense. Sometimes some people say I'm not ready. Some people say like, I believe in something else. I don't believe in the reincarnation. I wanted to. And the method how we can realize all this is the Bhakti Yoga, spiritual activity. And this one verse what says how we can realize Krishna, it's Atashi Krishna Namadi Nabhavit Grahya Midriya Sevan Mukhi Hijikhvadam Swayam Evas Puratidam. It says that to understand Krishna, Atashi Krishna Namadi, to understand Krishna, his qualities, his form, pastimes, not so easy by material senses. Atashi Krishna Namadi Nabhavit Grahya Midriya. Grahya Mindriya, it means material senses. And we can do this only through Sevan Mukhi Hijikhvadam, through our spiritual activity. Actually, it says Sevan Mukhi Hijikhvadam, through service. Sevan Mukhi, what is begins with the tongue. And Prabhupada says that we accept prasad and we chant Hare Krishna mantra. This is both important. But of course, accept prasad. We do this, it's very important, but we also should do this in proper in proper way, because sometimes we can eat and it can be like just like enjoying, but still it's purifying us. It's our hope also, and and good japa, very important. Yeah. Actually, I also think about this sometimes, that when we chant japa, Prabhupada recommends that we have to be in the mood, like in a different mood, but like it can be like a mood of a child who crying, who asking for a mother, and we have to also understand. Of course, it can be not necessary that we all will cry during a japa, be in this hopeless mood, but it means that we have to understand at least the importance of listening the holy names, because it really can change a lot in our daily life when we try to have a good japa. Because I was thinking about this, like how it happens that when we don't listen holy name, it means that we probably think about with planning something. We maybe just even sometimes we think about sense enjoyment. It explained about in Harinama Chitamani book. It said about these different stages when we chant japa. It happens that we also can think about sense enjoyment, planning about what I will eat, what I will do for my better life, and so on. Of course, like we like devotees, we think this in connection with Krishna. We like think about our service, about something. But it said also very important to listen holy names, because so many lives we was trying to rely on our mind and our own abilities, how to maintain ourselves in this world, how to do this and that, and we have this habit. But surrendering to Krishna, it means we have to try to understand that only Krishna, our best friend, and He can help to us to overcome all this illusion and understand about our real position and about our eternal relationship with Him. And we should try our best by listening. But of course, it's also important to, for example, in the evening, it's also a preparation for next day, how we go to sleep, what we do before. Do we listen some, I don't know, maybe we in Rajaguna can listen some crazy music, or we can speak with each other, like, and also in Rajasic way. We can eat at night, and of course then it will be more difficult. It will be like a struggle during a japa. But when we prepare ourselves before, then it will be easier. Yeah, and by doing service to Krishna in different ways, by mode of service, gradually Krishna revealed himself to us. Even it said that here is different ways to how we can do devotional service. Here is 9 methods. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Arshanam, Vandanam, and others. It says that there is 5 main methods for spiritual practice, and somebody knows these methods. Can somebody say? Tina, you know some of them? 5 most important practices in devotional service.
Chanting the holy name.
Yeah, this one, chanting.
Deity worship with attention, living in a holy place.
Yes, second and third. Слушание.
Шримад Бхагаватам.
Yeah, слушание Шримад Бхагаватам.
Devotees association.
Sattva-sangha. Thank you. Yeah, these 5 most important methods. Even if we do some of them, we will make very fast progress. But if you make like most of them, it will be very fast progress. Yeah, many people in this world, they practice different yogas, do different things, and they think that they do something valuable, they think that they do some spiritual practice. But actually what they do is just preparation for real spiritual practice. All this hatha yoga, meditation, it's help to calm down and then to realize who we are. And these 5 methods what we do, it's a direct methods what help to us to connect with God. And this is very powerful, what we do every day. And Prabhupada mentioned also here this verse from Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma shimeti vyam, evam viveti tatvadah, tyaktva deham punar janma, naiti mam etis arjunam. He said, it's famous verse, it said that one who knows transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in his material world, in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. Yeah, it says that if you just understand Krishna, but also activities of Krishna, we have to understand that they are spiritual, that they not like ours. Because our like birth and death is a material. Like how we come to this world, we get one body and leave this body and then get another. It's material because we do this because of influx of karma for our different activities. But Krishna, his activities and his appearance and disappearance is transcendental because he not influenced by these laws of nature, because he's God. He above all this. Yeah. And Prabhupada also recommends that to understand this, we have to take the process of Krishna consciousness. Like Prabhupada said this purport. When the mind is educated in Krishna consciousness or higher consciousness in the mode of goodness, one is transferred either to the upper heavenly planets or to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha planets. Yeah, it's like, or our society of Krishna consciousness. It means that not just society of doing something or I don't know, of some activities, but it's mostly about consciousness. What is in our head, what is in our heart, in our mind. Prabhupada also finished this purport by this text: Man mana bhava mat bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mam evashtikam yuktatvam atmanam mat parayanam. That we have to always think about Krishna, man mana bhava mat bhakto, to become devotee and to worship Krishna. Yeah, we try to. There is this also principle that satatam smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavyam najatuchit. It means that we have to always remember Krishna. All activity what we do, it should be that we help to us to remember Krishna and that we not forget him. And it means that also we have to try to be introspective in the sense that we have to look in our life, in our day, what we do every moment, and look how this helped me to be closer to Krishna, or how it helps me not forget him. And we should try to adjust everything in our life, what we do, that it helps to us to really, whatever we do, it should help to us to become closer and closer to Krishna. Of course, as I also see, it can be different for different levels of devotees. Like some devotees, they can think that even some sport for them, they think it's nice for them because they feel that this helps to them keep body healthy and then, have a good japa and serve Krishna also in a good mood. But other devotees, they can maybe more be engaged in some direct service, some different preaching or different activities who look more Brahminical, they learning Shastra, also teaching Shastra and so on. And even some, like Paramahamsas, they can even neglect the material body. They in this level that they can even don't pay attention to what they eat, how they do different things. And this is, of course, for this world, it's not so easy to understand, because our principles of devotion, of renunciation, are quite high. And I see sometimes like devotees, there is some interview and devotees answer to questions, and sometimes it's not easy to answer in a very direct way, because people cannot understand how it's possible. Even this our 4 regulative principles, and 4 principles that sex life only for children. Many people in this world, for them, it's like, how it's possible? Yeah. But for us devotees, it's like, we understand the importance of this. Even in this purpose, Prabhupada also mentioned about principles. I don't see now. The Prabhupada was saying about importance of this method that we follow, we chant and we follow these principles. Somebody remember this, where it was? I don't know, it's fine now. Yeah, I was also reading some letters of Prabhupada, and he was saying that all these our principles, like we chant 16 rounds, follow 4 principles, it's very important. And if we don't follow these, for example, principles, it's like there is no way for a spiritual life. And also many times, like yesterday in Ishtagors, we spoke about the sadhana. And Prabhupada, many times, if you look in some different letters, he explained about, when he say about spiritual life, he say about these 4 principles. Probably you know, because your guru he also emphasized on this a lot by his example and instructions. Prabhupada says that we have to follow these 4 principles, chant 16 rounds, and also wake up early and attend Srimad Bhagavatam and so on. Yeah, also this wake up early, it's very important for spiritual life. It's very much connected to Sattva Guna also. Like here said, it was said, when the mind is educated in Krishna consciousness or higher consciousness in the mode of goodness, one is transferred either to the upper heavenly planets or to the spiritual world. We have to be educated in Krishna consciousness in the mood of goodness. And it is said that in different, our different part of day, influenced by different moods. And night is like morning mood of ignorance. Night is like in tamasic. Shri Jagannath Dev Spatadi Ki Jai, Shri Guru Jai Ki Jai. Yeah, night is like tamasic, and morning it's more sattvic, and day is like rajas. And it said if we sleep at night, we go to tamas, and then when we wake up, if we wake up early, then we start our day with sattva. We, especially in the temple, like for devotees, we do spiritual activity, we pray, we chant japa, we learn shastra, and it's helped to us to start day with goodness, and also with be focused in the spiritual practice. But if we skip this program, if we from tamas, then we start our day with rajas. Because if we skip the morning program, if we wake up late, we skip maybe most part of the sattvic time, and then from tamas we go to rajas. And what will be our day? It will be like not the same, of course. Of course, it's very important also how we spend this morning time, how much we engage in this spiritual activity. If if we engage more, then it's also can give to us more strength and inspiration for a day. Yeah, I think it's very important to remember. But also, of course, as I see by myself, that all the sadhana, it's help, and we see importance of this if we also have some different activities during the day. What's help to what's require from us some proper consciousness, especially if we engage in some preaching and so on. When there is some responsibility, and when we have this, then we understand that I need morning program. If I skip this program, it will be difficult. If you go to the people to preach in different ways, then it will be difficult if you don't have a proper consciousness, if you don't have this mercy of Krishna. Because what we do is very much connected to the Krishna's mercy. I also wanted to read few Prabhupada quotes and letters about this preaching. I have in Russian, I will translate on Google. This quote, I think it's from Srimad Bhagavatam 11 Canto. It said, "Without association with a pure devotee of the Lord, one cannot obtain liberation. And until a person begins to show mercy to those below him, there will be no depths in his life." I like this moment. It said that until a person begins to show mercy to those below him, there will be no depths in his life. This is from lecture. I heard this from lecture of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. He was saying about this, that when we trying to help others to show mercy to below us, people who are maybe like we by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we got this knowledge, we understand about the importance of spiritual life, and there is some people who didn't understand this yet, and when we show the mercy to them, then there will be depths in our spiritual life. But if you don't do this, maybe it will be difficult to have these depths. And then at continuation, we are practically convinced that the participants of the Krishna consciousness movement who preach the message of Krishna with compassion progress very quickly, spiritually, and their lives are filled with transcendental happiness. Transcendental happiness does not come to those who consider compassion an empty phrase and remain indifferent to the missionary activities of the Krishna consciousness movement. This is indicated by the word Puryate in the verse quoted from the Garuda Purana. Not experiencing spiritual happiness, these people naturally try to fill their lives with material happiness, seeking in the sensual pleasures, philosophical conversations, in relationships with women, and endless reading of worldly novels, newspapers and magazines, and similarly entertainment. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu writes, the preaching activities of the Krishna consciousness movement are akin to Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam, ocean of ever-growing bliss. Missionary work is based on the principle of Dayam, compassion for the fallen. Communication with other preachers breathes life into those who are themselves engaged in preaching. This is called Maitrim, friendship between equals. Preachers receive the ability to preach and the necessary guidance to spread the message of Krishna through prashrayam, humble service, at the lotus feet of the spiritual master and other saints. When the devotee, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, sincerely preaches Krishna consciousness along with like-minded people, he implements the instruction of this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. This course of action will lead him to Sarvato Manasor Sangam, complete detachment from the illusory energy of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared, Lava Mata Satusanga Sarva Siddhihaya. By developing affection for the devotees of the Lord, one makes his life perfect, returning home back to God. Yeah, I think it's a nice explanation about importance of preaching, of missionary work. And Srila Prabhupada created all this movement in this way by following Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, there was also some stories when somebody wanted to donate to him some land in some city in India, outside in the city, but he said, I don't want this, I want the temple like in the center of the city, to make preaching alive, that people can come to this place, they can see Krishna, and we can preach to them the glory of Krishna. Yeah, and it's said also that we do this in according to the parampara system, that we follow the spiritual masters, and by getting the mercy of them, we give this mercy to others. And maybe some another quote. It's Prabhupada, I think this from lecture. Prabhupada say, don't think that preaching is such a careless activity. Eating, sleeping, and sometimes chanting Haribol, and that's all. This is not a preaching. We must be ready to introduce the idea of Krishna consciousness through the world. Just like all these people in India or here, they just adhere to Christianity, go to church without any understanding. That's why they fail. Now churches are closing. Likewise, if you do not keep yourself in shape for preaching, your temples will be closed over time. Without the preaching, you will not be inspired to continue worshipping in the temple. And without temple worship, you cannot maintain purity. These two things must go together. Then there will be success. Nowadays, Hindus, Muslims, and Christians, due to the fact that philosophy is not taught in these places, they close, like mosques, churches, and temples, they will close. That's why we write so many books. If you don't pay attention to books, if you don't preach and read ourselves, if you don't understand philosophy, this Hare Krishna will end in few years, because there will be no life. How long can a person artificially continue? Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, it will be artificial, there will be no life. Prabhupada explained this. Prabhupada created everything that for us is like natural. We have this morning program, everyone can join, we have a Sunday program. But it's also, as much we engage in preaching and this, trying to help the people to get education, to inviting some different preachers who can inspire others to go out or to do something for Krishna. Because like we read about Bhakti Yoga, that we have to engage our senses. It's very important to engage our senses in spiritual activity, to purify them. And this requires that we will have some idea, something where we can put our heart. Because when we have something where we can put our heart, then sense also goes there. Because if we have something inspiration, what we can do during the day, then it will be natural that we just engage in this, and our senses will go there, and they will be purified because we do this for Krishna. It said that preaching this something very, very special, was help to us very, very fast make this progress and get good realizations and overcome lower modes of nature, because otherwise this modes of nature very strong. Okay, time is going to the end. If maybe somebody have something to add or to say or to ask, please. Maybe Guru Nisha Prabhu want to add something? Может, хотите что-то добавить?
Добавить. Ну, чтобы, допустим, быть в сознании Кришны, нужно чему-то следовать. Каким-то начальным правилам, которые укрепляют нашу веру.
Можно вас буду переводить? To be in Krishna consciousness, we have to follow some principles what will help to us to be in Krishna consciousness.
Ну вот как вы считаете, что, допустим, вот это внимательная джапа, просад, ну какое вот начало, чтобы было, чтобы можно было утром подняться, себя хорошо закрепить, и потом днем быть в сознании Кришны и все время думать о Господе?
Yeah, he's saying that it's important to have a very good japa, attentive japa, and be attentive during accepting prasadam. Good start of the day.
Это вопрос?
Ну да, простите.
Нет, так вы же... Я думал, что вы что-то добавите, потому что лучше, чтобы...
Давайте я сейчас добавлю.
Я же говорил про это.
Не, конкретно можно или нельзя?
Конкретно. Еще раз.
У меня есть ответ.
Окей. Ладно, все напробуем.
Выключить телефон в 6 вечера.
Nice, very good.
Можно перевести.
Well, Vasila Prabhu adds that it's good to switch off the phone after 6 p.m.
You were saying?
What?
That came from you or from Guru Krishna?
Yeah,
From
I
him.
say. Guru Krishna Prabhu asked what to do to wake up early. It's because
I also like think about this, and I realize it is very important. If you finish your day, for me even it's after 8. Maybe I'm not in such sattva guna, but I mean like if after 8, if you before going to sleep, if till 9, for example, till 9:30 or 10, if you just more read books, or especially reading good at night. I don't know what else.
I can offer you, if you like, we can lock your phone in my office. That's what I do actually. Of course I have to keep. But
It should be a new sadhana.
I leave it there at 6, 7 p.m. and I don't take it. I take it in the morning. So I'm offering all of you, if you like, you can bring it home.
And what you do in the evening?
Sleeping, eating. Well, I have my iPad still, so but it helps to me.
Yeah. Такой совет дали. Отключать телефон после 6 вечера. Yeah, actually these phones, is like, nowadays we're so much accustomed to them, but this many times create problems for us. It's so much Rajaguna, these phones, this scrolling. You cannot just stop this scrolling, because when we open a book, it's like different. You read books, your mind works in different way than this scrolling and this not so auspicious.
Еще есть вопрос. Вот если мы во сне, тут написано, что
Громко плохо, надо несколько, не привыкнуть.
если мы во сне видим что-то плохое, кошмар, это одно. А если мы во сне видим Вриндаван или Кришну, то значит мы общаемся с Кришной?
Prabhu asked about if we see some nightmare in the night, when we dream, it's one thing, but if we see Krishna, if we see Vrindavan, it is probably something good.
It's very good.
It's very good. It's person very lucky who see this Vrindavan and some Krishna. I would like to see this night. Yeah, this perfection of life. If you during a day enough Krishna consciousness that at night you can remain Krishna consciousness. It will be not anymore something tamasic when you just somewhere flying. But if you absorb in Krishna during the night, it's perfection of life. Even there is different stories about devotees who was preaching like you know, in beginning, the devotees was doing Harinams, like 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, sometimes more. They were so much engaged in holy names and preaching, direct preaching. And then when they went to sleep, they was seeing Krishna. We have to try this, yeah? It will be nice to have this, like we have a Nama Sevana, we'll be to have this Harinam Sevana once in a month. Go to Harinam for a whole day. Okay. Something else?
If we read in Krishna book, I think it's also a very nice preparation for our dream, because when you see and read some about Krishna, it will be continued.
It would be nice to have this together also, to read Krishna book. At least one chapter it takes not so long. There is small chapters, there is long chapters, but mostly it takes half an hour. It's gonna be nice. It's very philosophical. Okay, now it's time is over. We have to finish. Grandraj Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Nata Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Я вообще слышал, что если видим во сне, если мы видим полубогов, потом учителя или Кришну, это считается, что не отлично. Ну, не знаю, насколько это...
Спасибо большое за прием.
Быстро говорил, да?
Я вас открещу,
Что?
Я вас открещу, Во-первых, вы сказали, что вы будете читать такие длинные комментарии, которые конечно.
Почему?
Почему же переводить такой длинный стих, когда вы очень быстро читаете?
Переводите, что вы не читаете?
Но вы же не только вначале, вы же потом еще другой переводили.
Там была цитата.
Шримад Бхагаватам 11 стих. Не, я это перевела, как лучше всегда просто читать.
Что лучше? Медленно читать, когда что-то?
Либо медленно читать, либо хотя бы говорить этот номер стиха.
Я не был уверен. Это было даже 2 ссылки написано. То возможно просто какой-то держать отрывок из комментария.
Ну да, если бы вы были добрые, то вы могли бы с утра, как раз когда нам Мангалараке сказал, что буду переводить, вы сказали, а я буду вот такой.
У меня на самом деле было спонтанно, я точно знал, что именно это будет.
Можно мое пожелание?
Да-да.
Вот приезжала семейная пара в резидент немецкого храма с женой, и они начинали чтение на санскрите, не всего стиха сразу, а вначале по отдельному слову. То есть повторяют все по отдельному слову, а потом они начинают петь на санскрите. И так восприятие идет намного легче.
Я построчно читал на целому стиху.
Нет, понятно, но когда вот начинается со строчки, а ты еще не можешь разобрать вообще каждое слово по отдельности, это очень сложно сразу.
Это новатор, кстати, это новаторское они сделали. Обычно всегда делают вот так, как все делают. Сначала стих, а потом
Вот они, вот эта пара, они делали, это было очень
делают
здорово.
просто.
Да, и они, кстати, и лекцию, вот, она все время ссылалась на личный опыт, ну вот женщина, в крайнем случае, и это очень-очень как бы приятно, когда это не просто ссылается на личный опыт.
Ну, реализованный.
Да, на реализованный именно, потому что в теории это одно, а на практике это всегда другое.
Ну да.
Спасибо.
А потом в конце вы забрали у меня работу, сами перевели.
Простите. Ну просто чтобы здесь слышали другие еще.
Нет, самое главное, что вы мне не дали стих. В следующий раз, если вам будет, нужно давать стих на будущее. Бантик принят, да? Отхлёстывание бантиком принят.
Да.
Что женщина за ребенок, ну так за нее ухаживать, за ребенком. Нет, это вообще нельзя. Это вообще нельзя. Его там убили. А я не знаю, или мне кажется, если она добила, там, мол, что ему там не прав, там, и так далее. Ага. А она когда у него там забрал просад, выслал мусор ящик, ну там, где она продавала само. А я говорю, понимаешь, какая система, я ему скажу, ну, вы мне время купите, я не хотел. А? Не, я не... Да, просто я пишу, имею в виду, что нужно... И тебе парень от меня сказал, что сказал, говорю, понимаешь, если вот, давай я говорю, за что ты говорю, а мне скажи, ну, ты будет, ну, типа, ты а так она тогда меня не возьмет. Ну, раз это так, на самом деле, тут нужно с ним так поговорить, что ты примешь. Понимаешь, да? Ну, не накалить его так, что ты ему отказал, наша дня, она подумает, как ты сделать так правильно, чтобы само сработало. Она подумает, чтобы ты не выказал озлобление, что типа ты в этом унизишь, что он там мало говорил, она что придумает. Надо сделать так, чтобы это сработало. Ты не знаешь, щитя когда должен быть. Эти дела, сейчас сама за наша. Надо подумать. Подумать. Слушай, а если тебе начать читать Ханумана Чалису? Не помогаю моментально. Уже такому.
Спасибо большое.
Люди пришли. Ты мне пришли смс-ку?
Угу.
Пришли, что я тебя нашел, я помню, что Ханум напишу.
Ну, либо я в интернете найду, если я...
Не, у меня просто есть переводец, а чему пишу? Я перевод тебе кину, не перевод Чалису и все.
Спасибо большое, Харе Кришна.
flore nectarai.
There are the names. Yes, I will put them here. They will need more than. I just need to write the message. Я помню, билет в 11:30. Сможете взять просады? Того? Сможете взять просады? Ну, смысл сегодня просады вы сможете? Это просто правильно. Да. Что там там? Там вчерашний мужик. Там я забыла. Кашка.
best part is that now I'm discovering what they have. Because some things I never saw.
Oh yes, I think so. I think mostly we take the standard top.
Yeah.